All right, so now we're on another trip. John enjoyed himself so much last time that he decided to make a mistake and come again. I don't know what his problem is. We just left Grumpy. Grumpy has a quiet disposition about him. So appreciate the ride, Grumpy. And we're going to look for Doc and whoever else we can find. But we are here at 293 at the bitter end, and we are heading on up now. The idea is that we're going on to wind up this hike at Wilbur Dam Road. So that's about, I thought it was 30. Grumpy is adamant that it's 25, and it might be 25, but we're going to take our time and stretch this into a long weekend and have a good time. So, John, we got to come up with a trail name for you. So your last name's Far. I could say Far Away or Far Out There. So I'm just going to call you Out There until we come up with something better. Does that work for you?
Sure.
Well, you got anything you want to say? You didn't say nothing last time. You got anything you want to say now?
No, just hoping my pack's lighter than it was last time for sure.
All right, here they go. All right, just a few quick comments before we start this hike in earnest. Probably one of my favorite hikes that I've done in a long, long time. Just enjoyed the camaraderie that we shared that night around the shelter. I've never laughed so much on the trail, I think, in ever. So enjoyed that. Appreciate that. Shock thee there, Laura and Ronnie. Appreciate you bringing your dog. Jake, I'm not much for dogs on the trail type of guy. You know, I love dogs. As y'all have often seen Coda. Where's he? Here he is back there. Hey, Coda. You've often seen him in my videos. Love dogs. I'm glad people can experience them on the trail. My experience, unfortunately, has been I've been nipped at or snapped at or backed down by a dog coming up on to me with his teeth bared and growling or barking more times than not on the trail. And people don't always seem to keep them, you know, on a leash like they should, particularly when they're going to be encountering other people. And that's led to some of that. So don't always really like that. Love dogs, but in this case, Jake was a ideal trail dog. Didn't have him, you know, coming around climbing all over anybody's stuff in the shelter or eating people's food or anything like that. And matter of fact, you'll see he was a test subject for me on this as far as food goes. But Ronnie, I appreciate you bringing Jake. That kind of gave me a newfound look for dogs on the trail, and just really enjoyed him, and he was a big part of why it made this trip so much fun for me. And then also John and his daughter Jenna. John is a big mushroom, in particular Jenna's a big mushroom person, and so we looked at saw a lot of different kind of mushrooms. John has a huge mental capacity for mushrooms and all things mushrooms, so enjoyed that, and him learning, teaching me a little bit about mushrooms. And so I'll throw a couple pictures of mushrooms up here. I'm not going to really talk about them too much in the video, but I would. But if you know what kind of mushroom that is or what it's good for, then let me know. I'm probably going to become a shroomer, somebody who looks for mushrooms for medicinal purposes or holistic health in the future. But in any case, great video. Hope you enjoyed as much as I did. So let's hit the trail. Big old hardwoods in here, but you can still tell it was locked.
Oh yeah.
They missed the big ones. The big ones were the little ones that they missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like these level spots. I'm good with these.
Nice. I'm looking around thinking, there's got to be a tree stand right here close somewhere. You can see too good. And all these hardwoods and deer come running through here all the time. That's why it's so clear and cleaned out. One of the reasons.
If you don't drink your water, you'll get sick by the ill feeling. We're just having a conversation about getting dehydrated. Reminds me that make sure you get to your water bottles if they're hard to get to. you're apt not to drink as much as you should. So we are coming into Morland, I believe it's Morland Gap shelter, and there'll be a view right before there. I don't know if it will be with the trees the way they are, but we're coming into the shelter. So take a break here, take a pack off, and get back on the trail. I don't think we're going to stay there for the night. We'll talk about that when we get there, though. We're just taking a little leisurely 25-30 mile jaunt this weekend. All right, let me turn it around, let you see a little bit of the trail. So we're on top of a hill, and so we're in the coniferous zone as well as the hardwoods, and pretty much this whole walk's gonna be hardwoods. Leaves have not started to change yet. I thought they were going to. Thought we might see some, but we're not gonna see them on this trip. Looks like the rhododendron's starting to drop a little bit there, and maybe some red maple, but poplars are usually come after red maple, and they hadn't turned yet. So we're maybe a week or so, a couple of weeks off from that. I don't know if that's the view or not. Yep. Yeah, I think the rain.
Oh, it's clear as a bell after the rain.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that valley over there. Oh, we're coming into a whole valley here.
Glasses off, and now that I should have put them back on.
Now we're coming to the view.
Leave them on or take them off, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's heck when you have to wear glasses. Mine stay fogged up all the time.
Oh yeah.
Pretty, pretty.
Cell tower blinking down there.
Good. I need to make a cell call. Maybe we'll be able to hear that, be able to catch that from the shelter. What was your name? Rodney?
Ronnie.
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 All right, we are at. Where the heck are we? Can I take your picture?
I don't care.
Any of y'all? Are y'all okay with it? If I film you?
As long as you pay me.
Okay, I'm not filming you.
That's good. Everybody knows Jake.
Okay, we are at Morland Gap Shelter, and we're here for the night because it showed rain, and of course it's not going to. So, but we're here anyway. I got John over there, Ronnie, Jake, who is the best one of us yet, most quiet, smells the best, and up under there is Crazy Lady, or Laura, as she's also known. That's her trail name we gave her. And so last time, you remember, I had this food that I was trying out for the trip. And so if you remember my last comments about it, they were not necessarily favorable. So I called them up and told them that, and they said, let us send you some entrees. So I said, okay, cool. So they sent me some entrees. This is triple cheese mac, and I have tried it. And John, what was my comment about it?
It was better than the last shit they gave you.
So John has given the review. I didn't give the review. John did give the review, but yes, it is better than the last stuff. It is not Kraft macaroni and cheese by any stretch of the imagination, but it is survivable. And then after this, I'm probably going to go eat some bear crap and something else to fill my belly. All right, that is it. We are here for the night, and everybody's sacked out. And Laura has been here for, I don't know, what, a week to 10 days? Something like that?
No, not that.
No, okay, 2 days. She's been here 2 days hanging out, and she has now become the caretaker. She is the caretaker of this Morland Gap. Most people don't realize they have a caretaker here. They do. It's Laura or whatever. Crazy Lady or whatever trail name.
Candy cane.
Candy cane. No, heretofore. No, kill them from behind. Which one are you using now? Okay. Oh, we're not sure which one, but anyway, she seems to be nice, and I'm like laid out right there next to her is where my stuff is. So, look it up. We'll hopefully see you in the morning. This is Jake, and I gave Jake, good boy Jake, gave Jake a little bit of my supper and the triple macaroni and cheese. Jake loves it. You love it, don't you, Jake? It's good stuff, isn't it? Yeah, good stuff. You're welcome, Jake. Glad I could help you get down your dog food. All right. Don't get too much of that water. You'll fill your stomach up and won't be able to get the triple mac and cheese.
That triple mac and cheese will swell up.
That's right. That triple mac and cheese will swell up and fill you up, boy. All right, Jake.
Dog will be walking around like...
All right, so one thing about the Morland Gap shelter is the water is a long, long ways away. So way up yonder is the shelter, and I'm still making my way down to the water. So it's ways down here. It says it's 15 minutes down and 15 minutes back up. Something doesn't make sense about that. It's not ever the same up as it is down. In any case, going down here to get some water, and have enjoyed the camaraderie back there at the shelter, and glad to be out here hiking with folks and be around folks that really, like I said before, don't always get a chance to do that, and have always preferred hiking solo just because I'm on my own, not on anybody else's schedule except for mine. But I think I've changed my mind. I like hiking with folks. Just more enjoyable around the shelter, particularly with the groups there now. We picked up a Ronnie with has a lab there on the trail, so he's staying with us. And of course, came up with a Laura, who's been in the shelter for 2 days now, just hanging out, avoiding the rain and just hanging out and liking the shelter. So that is kind of what we're doing. All right, now I've got to go figure out where this cotton picking. Oh, I guess there's a big sign there. It says water, but it looks like definitely going to be a spring, and Ronnie had said it was piped, so hopefully it'll be down here. All right, so this is the pipe spring here at Morland Gap. Biggest pipe I've seen on the AT yet. Got a little plate here for dippers, a little basin there for dippers, and looks like it goes on back up underneath the spring there. So pretty good source. Of course, it's been raining a lot. I'll step up here and shut down this water flow so I don't waste it. Been raining a lot past couple days, so it's recharged the springs, and maybe that's why this is a old pipe that they've got in there, and it's actually, oh gosh, you can actually poke a hole in it. It's a plastic pipe and runs up in here. Wow, I don't even know where it collects stuff from. There's no running water up in here, but anyway, it's good water source for today anyhow. Here. All right, we are 20 minutes out of camp. This is my usual 20-minute out of camp video. It rained all night, so stopping there was the right thing to do. Otherwise, I'd have been putting up a wet tent this morning and dealing with fixing breakfast with no bench in a wet area. And it's actually raining this morning too, really up to the point we left, which is around 8:30. So right call, despite the weatherman. Don't have to worry about carrying water weight. Of course, I'm packing Drew's tent, which is a Cuban fiber tent. Thank you, Drew. You remember Drew from my rock gap to the knock a long time ago. In any case, appreciate you, Drew. I'm going to use that tent tonight. awful pretty out here. We're walking a ridge right now. A little ethereal fog going on there. A little Lord of the Rings or whatever foggy movie suits you. Could be Friday the 13th. Anyway, good staying at the shelter, like I was saying before, the camaraderie. Probably have never laughed so much in my life at a shelter. I'm sure I haven't. So we had the person who we came up on, the girl, lady, woman, whatever, who we came up on, her name, what was her trail name? She said when we got there, Wanna Go, or
Candy cane was
no, it was Candy Cane when she was in the Smokies. It was do something else. I can't remember what her name was. We just named her Shock Theater. So any of you guys out there that are my age that remember Shock Theater, and she was not shocking by any means. So she's a nice person, but she was allowed us to and everybody to have a good time making fun of each other. So it was a good time, and enjoyed that immensely. So many times you go to a shelter, and if there are people there, a lot of times people don't want to talk to you. You know, they've already set their group up, and you're not included in their conversation, so you kind of feel like a warm body in the corner. So that was nice to do that. And we picked up Ronnie on the way and his dog Jake, and so we had a little eclectic crowd going on there. We enjoyed that. And this morning, enjoying the trail. So we're gonna keep on heading north, and probably we're gonna be passing, I believe, Laurel Falls, coming up on another shelter, and yeah, so we're not gonna try to make it to Hampton today. We probably could, but no point in it. We're out here for a weekend, and we're going to enjoy our time away from the matrix as long as possible. All right. You see how varied the terrain is. Now we're through a little old spruce forest here. All right, well, we're going to Charlie Mike, and we'll chat with you later. What's that?
a lot of this rhododendron, laurel, whichever, there's a lot of it laid down.
Yeah, I guess that's just how it grows.
Almost looks like somebody came through, extend it for a view.
Well, there would be our view if we had a view.
Well, I can barely make out a
Ridge over there. Yeah, I see it. Valley's still socked in. Of course, it depends on if I look through my glasses. If I'm looking through them, I can't make out nothing. I gotta look over them.
Yeah, I know.
This is Jake and Ronnie, and they are heading to, how far are you going?
Grayson Highlands.
Grayson Highlands, coming out in Grayson Highlands. And where'd you get on the trail?
At Carver's Gap.
Carver's Gap. So how many miles you doing the whole trip?
About 125 by the time I do side trips.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. All right, Jake, you be a good boy now.
I'm going to Mount Roger. I'm pretty sure it's uphill.
Oh, yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting y'all.
Y'all take care.
We'll probably see you down, Trey.
All right, we have crossed over into Pond Mountain Wilderness. Never been in this wilderness area before. We crossed over there, so we're officially in it. We have passed, we're on the Laurel Creek, I believe is what that is down there. Nice little creek. Looks like it'd be a good trout stream. There was a ton of cars back there at the trailhead. I don't know where everybody's at. I'm sure I'm gonna find out. But we'll be coming into Laurel Falls, and that may be where they're at here eventually. Trail is very excellently graded here for a while. Coming down into the trailhead down there, very rocky. There's not a lot of water between the shelter. We were at Morland Gap shelter. I only saw one place on the trail, and that was down at the trailhead, or close to it, then 1/10 of a mile, right before the old barn. where there was water. The rest of it is dry, and we had a lot of rain. It rained most of the night last night. So, I don't know why. I guess it's been dry up here, and the mountainside's absorbing the water quicker than it's shedding it. But anyhow, enjoying this level spot here. Next stop will be the Laurel Falls, and then the shelter. Should be Laurel Fork River is what that is. And the Laurel Fork Falls. I mean, yeah, Laurel Fork Falls, and then Laurel Fork Shelter. And I think the shelter is in about 2.5 miles, give or take. We'll stop and eat us some lunch there. Alright, we're gonna keep on walking. Yeah, you wonder what the cut was for. It must have been a logging road. They went to a lot of trouble to cut through here. Alright, this is another iconic spot I have seen in people's videos. That wall of rock goes on and on and on. And this is the creek I've seen so much on videos. And I think here in just a little bit we are going to go down right along the creek. Pretty sure. Alright, I'll show it to you in a minute.
As soon as you hear it, put it in your notes.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna video it right now so I remember it. Alright, so we just passed a flip-flopper slash Sobo slash Nobo, like everybody else is. He was shown SHAUNG 35 or 34.
A-W-N.
Huh?
S-H-A-W-N.
SHAWN 34, 35. Blueberry was his trail name. And this is, I guess, somebody hiking with Blueberry. Are you hiking with Blueberry?
Yeah.
Are you? Awesome. Hey, y'all have a good day. So that was 3 of them that are finishing up at the knot. So that's cool. All right. Don't know if it'll make the video or not, but it's really taking notes. All right, John and I have figured out where they make all the steps for the Appalachian Trail. It's right here off Laurel Fork. So this is where they make them all, and they carry these all over the trail and make the steps that you come up. I don't know what they were cutting through here, why they would go to all this effort, because if you get back over here, it just drops off down into the Laurel Fork gorge or whatever you want to call it. So anyhow, this is where they make the steps. They're not made in China. I know that's what everybody thought. Sorry to disappoint. Yeah. This is another iconic spot on the trail that a lot of people you see in their videos. What you don't see is all this slick rock.
Yeah.
That's pretty, ain't it?
Hope it don't feed in there. Come in on the trail here.
Nope, gotta go up. All right, let me put this thing down. This next one, I gotta go over this. I ain't figured out how to do that holding the camera. Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Keeps the sand, rocks, and the grit and everything else out of them. Some people wear gaiters, but I just always wore these pants. I'm sure I'd be cooler if I'd zip them off, but then I'd have stuff all in my shoes.
Yeah.
So, are you cooler, or do you want to have stuff in your shoes?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, these pants, I'm cooler than I was when I hiked in the shorts last time. I hiked in shorts the whole time last time. And I got a pair of shorts out of this material too. But it's been so convenient that not have to worry about stuff in trash, especially with it wet in your socks.
Alright, I want to thank Shane Spess from Mountain Style Hiking Equipment. He's kind enough to send me this titanium cup with the bell on it. I've never used one with a bell, never even seen one out on the trail with a bell, and that's the thing I got in my hand, in case you're wondering, and I like it. And he also sent me this little stove, and it's done wonderful on this trip. I think it boils water between that and cup. I think it boils water faster than my I can't remember the name now. I'll put it up here. I'll put it when I get back now, but I'm so tired it's at the end of the day. But I think it does better, faster than my Snow Peak. That's what I got. Got a Snow Peak pot and a Snow Peak stove. I think it does better, and it's certainly smaller. I'm not sure where it's sourced from, but I do know that my buddy John is hiking with me. He's got a stove identical to it, and he got his from some name brand person. Don't know who that is, but anyhow, thank you, Shane. Much appreciated. Good cookware, good stuff. I'll leave a link down in the description if you're interested in going to his website and picking one up. Well, we made it just short of Pond Flats. There's a water source right before you get to Pond Flats, but there was some really good campsites. Right here's one of them. You can see there's a lot of places around here you could hammock or tent or whatever you want to do. We found another place just a little further up the trail, a couple hundred yards, that's about the same and close to the water. And rather than go ahead and go to Pond Flats and not have a sure thing when we know we had a sure thing here and we were tired, we decided to call it a day here. So that was about 12 miles that we did today. So that sets us up for a easy 3 mile down to boots off tomorrow. And then we'll decide then if we're going to slack pack the 5 miles over to Wilbur Dam Road. And if we do, we'll probably slack pack over there and just come on back. But in any case, we might just leave that for the next trip. So that's all we got for today. Been a good day of hiking and a lot of big ups. But Laurel Fork River down there and falls was awesome. And just enjoyed today being out on the trail. Hey, and I think the trail enjoyed us. Don't know if it growed like that or somebody put it there, but in any case, this is it for the day, and we'll wrap it up tomorrow. All right. Y'all have a good evening.
If it ain't got a rail around it, I got a safety belt. Yeah. Well, that's why I built box stands. Dad, and when I could hunt, it was always raining. That's when I wasn't working. Dad told me to bring home some racing mushrooms.
So look for them now, huh?
If I run into one between here and on the way out here, you know,
How big a mushroom she want?
she was like, "Have you not been picking them? I told you to take a paper bag and pick them."
Paper, why can't you use plastic?
She said that paper was what they were, what they breathed in better or whatever. And I said, as I said, you know, I could have had 2 pounds of them, and she's like, "And you hadn't been bringing them with you?" You don't understand. You don't understand.
2 pounds, that'd be adding like 10% to your trail weight.
And I really hadn't talked to her too much about, you know, it's nice to leave something for everybody else to enjoy too.
Yeah.
But my wife said to me, 'cause I'll pick acorns up, stuff like that.
Well, we decided not to continue our hike on the Wilbur Dam Road, which goes around Watauga Lake. Probably it's only about another 5 miles out there. I think Grumpy was right, but in any case, we'll save that for a day hike, or maybe just pick back up when we pick back up on the trail there at Watauga Lake and head on out from Hampton, Tennessee up to Damascus, Virginia. That'll probably be our next local hike. But John and I are going to be taking a lash up from starting in Pennsylvania, heading Sobo, and we'll be going down the course, doing all of Maryland and West Virginia and on into Virginia, somewhere around Snickers Gap or Blackburn Trail Center. But I hope you enjoyed that. Leave me some comments down there if you got any questions. Subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up, and as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.